Hey everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to some, depending on where you're at. Welcome to another edition of your midday love break. This is our weekly get together. This is the time that I show up. I answer your guys' just burning questions about relationships and love and marriage and sex and all that good stuff. So I'm really excited to have you guys here for another edition of our Midday Love Break. Just as a reminder, if you have any questions, be sure to put them in the comments. I'll get to them if I can. If not, I will for sure comment later. But if you ever have things that you're struggling with in your relationship and you want me to address them live, anonymously of course, be sure to reach out. Send me an email, or you can send me a private message through Facebook. But you can email me, Robyn, R-O-B-Y-N, at thehappycoupleexpert.com. And I would love to be able to address any topics that specifically are challenging in your relationship, or maybe you're just confused or curious about. So reach out, let me know. Oh, hey, here for a little bit. Glad you could join us. Glad that you could be on today, Jen. So this is a topic, you guys, that so many people struggle with, and it's how in the world do I love my partner or my spouse when they just suck? And I'm talking about this because I go through this. I'm the happy couple expert, but I'm married. And being an expert in love and relationships means I have to be real with you guys. I can't bullshit. I can't mess around. And the only way to actually see changes in your relationship is to get real life, usable information. So glad you guys are here. We're going to be talking about some important stuff, but it's pretty simple. So I'm glad you are joining us live. So as usual, put comments in the comment section, and let's just kind of jump into this. And if you don't know me, if this is your first time meeting me, hi, welcome. I'm Robyn D'Angelo. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist here in Southern California. I'm in Laguna Hills, California. And I have made it my mission to help couples to just navigate through and master the messiness of couplehood together. So, and I do that by doing these live feeds every week. I work in a private practice where I see couples. I do workshops. I do lots of things. So this is just one way that I'm bringing to you real life stuff, real life information that actually works. So I'm super stoked to have you guys here. Make sure to write, have something to write with if you want to take notes, if you are a note taker. And you're always welcome to go back and rewatch this and share this. A lot of times I hear from people, I'll get emails from people that'll say, oh my God, I love today's midday love break. I even sent it to my spouse. Awesome. The goal is that you're not the only one in your relationship getting this information and making the changes. While yes, you can have massive change when only one of you is doing the work, you can have more just impactful and long-lasting changes when the two of you are showing up with new information. So let's dive in. I have my notes here. So if you see me kind of looking down, this is why. And let's dive in. So we're going to cover 3 things today. We're going to be talking about why hang in there and love your partner when it gets really tough. Like, why do we need to do this? It is a must, and we'll talk about why. The second thing is we're going to talk about, why does this feel absolutely impossible to do sometimes? Why does it feel so hard to love my partner? And we're going to talk about that. The last thing is, how can you actually successfully love your partner even when they suck? Because here's the thing. We get tired. We feel disconnected. We're grumpy. We're hungry. Fill in the blanks, right? How do we still move through that and show up? And that's what I'm going to share with you guys today. So super glad you're here. Have my notes to keep us on point. I want to keep this about 30 minutes so that you guys can get going. This is just your midday love break for you to take some time and just focus on your relationship and get the tools. I'm just looking over here on my page to make sure that you guys can see me and hear me. Sometimes if I can't see all of your comments or questions come through, I like to see if I can see it over here on my computer. All right, let's dive in, you guys. So the first thing you might be thinking is okay, Robyn, but why love my partner when they suck? Why stay connected? Why stay engaged when they are their least lovable? Here's your answer. And it's not super deep and it's not crazy and it probably won't blow your mind, but you probably need to hear it. And so does your partner. You stay engaged and you love your partner anyway because that's what we do when we choose someone. That's what we do when we choose to be in a relationship. Because when we choose them, when we choose to say yes, we're actually choosing to trust that they actually want you to be happy, deeply happy, to feel safe, to feel like you are committed to feel respected and valued and all those things. So when you choose someone, you choose to trust that they have your best interest, the relationship's best interest in mind. And when you choose to actually believe this, when you choose to own the belief or the value system that, you know what, at the end of the day, like my partner just wants the best for me. My partner wants me to know that they love me. If you can hold on to that thought, even through the really hard stuff, what it's going to do is it's going to make it easier, more bearable, more tolerable to love them through all those times that they suck. To love them through those times that they slip up, or even bigger, to love them through those times that they disappoint the hell out of you, or they really just let you down. Sometimes our partners are just so clueless to our needs, clueless to what's going on around them. We've been there, right? For those of you that are here with me, like we've been there. We've been preoccupied. We've been stressed out about something else. That we missed their, I call them bids, their attempt to connect with you or attempt to get a need of theirs met. Sometimes we just miss it. And when we can kind of forgive when they mess up or they miss us or they miss our need, when we can forgive those moments, we actually see them in their humanness. I can't tell you how many men come into my office and talk about, I just want my wife to accept me. I feel like all she ever wants to do is change me. She wants me to be this different person. She wants me to, act differently, say things differently, which sometimes is helpful. But they just want to feel accepted even when they fuck up. I'd say part of my language, but I don't mean that, because I think it's important to know that, like, we all fuck up, we all mess up, we all suck at marriage sometimes. But if we can actually forgive our partners and love them when they are least lovable, guess what? You have a higher probability of them in turn doing the same thing. Because at some point, you are going to totally mess up. You're going to let them down. You're going to disappoint them. You're probably even going to break their heart. I know it sounds big, but guess what? I mean, that's part of epic love. That's part of being married. We have big, awesome moments, and we have big, shitty moments. So that is why we continue to love our partners through the messy stuff. That's the first part. Second part is, like, why does this feel so impossible to do sometimes? When we feel like we've been let down, when we feel like our partner has failed us. I mean, you guys listening who are here, have you ever felt that before? Just think about it for a moment. Have you ever felt like, oh my God, are you serious? I just needed you to be there. Or, here's one that I hear a lot. I don't ask that much of you. How could you not just do this for me? How is it so hard for you to show up or to do X, Y, Z? Is this resonating with you guys? Do you ever feel like, how could you be so clueless? How could you be so selfish? How can you suck so bad at being married right now? Have you guys ever felt that way about your partner and your relationship? I know I have. I know I have. And it's okay. It's because I'm human. We feel this way. It feels so impossible to answer this question. Why can it feel so impossible to love our partners through this? Here's why. Because when you are in a moment of need or desire or basically need, like you just need them, you need something, the last thing that you can stomach is feeling rejected, is feeling disappointed. Here's a big one, ladies, if you've ever felt this way, feeling disregarded in your moment of need. Ever been there? Ever been there? It is one of the hardest things to sit through. Here's why. When those feelings start to arise, because of our partner's actions or something they said, or here's a big one. When you start feeling disregarded and disappointed and really let down because of something they didn't do, here's what happens. We feel alone. And I just pause for a minute because that is a really heavy feeling. To feel alone in your experience, to feel alone in your feelings, to feel alone in your relationship. I just really want you guys to sit with this for a minute. Especially if you might be the partner who sucks right now. Because when you can't show up for your partner when they need you, or when you choose not to, when ego is getting in the way, your partner feels utterly alone in your relationship. And feeling alone in a relationship is worse than feeling alone and being single. Because I have this idea, I have this assumption that because I'm in a relationship, my partner's there to have my back. Remember going back to the whole, why? Why do we love our partners through tough times and when they suck? It's because we trust that they want us to feel safe and loved and committed to. And yet if we show up or don't show up, we feel completely alone. And, oh, you guys, when you feel completely alone in your relationship, oftentimes it's hard to get vulnerable. And when I mean vulnerable, it's hard to say, hey, I feel alone in my relationship. What do? You go to anger. Valerie, you said spot on. Oh, I'm glad this is resonating. We go to a place of anger. What the hell's your problem? How could you just not? I'm always the one, right? Because we're angry, we start criticizing. Which, as you guys know, I've talked about this a lot, is just a really shitty way of desperately trying to get our needs met. So why does it feel so impossible sometimes to love our partners when they suck? It's because we feel completely alone. We feel alone in our experience. We feel alone in our struggle. And they're supposed to be right next to us in our struggle. They're supposed to be the one going, babe, I know this sucks. Damn it. This sucks for us. I see you. This sucks. And this is why it can be so impossible. It can feel so impossible. So if you're sitting there going, oh my God, Robyn, it's impossible to love my partner when they suck. I get it. We talked about why, but we also talked about why you need to stay and hang in there and love them through it. So let's give you the hows. Let's talk about how you can actually show up and just stay connected and really, truly love them through those moments when they're at their least lovable. And for any of you guys that are watching right now, I mean, if any of this stuff is resonating, just give me a comment, share with me, let me know what part of this is resonating. What part of this are you going, oh my God, that's totally me? Or, oh my gosh, that's totally my partner. I want you guys really hearing this and letting it sink in and just marinate. All right, I'm getting some thumbs up. Sometimes it's hard to love ourselves when we are the one sucking. Truth, Valerie. So true. But that's why we have conversations like these, where it gives you a moment to just pause, to get real, to ask, where am I sucking? What do I need to do to start showing up for my partner and sucking less? That could be a whole nother conversation, Valerie. How to stop sucking at being married instead of loving your partner through it. So here's the how-to, you guys. When we talk about like, how do I love my partner through this? How do I love them through the hard stuff when they are the least lovable? This is how we do that. It starts with you. It does. It starts with you. It starts with you taking a breath. It starts with you pausing. It starts with you saying, can I regulate my own emotion right now? Because think about it, when our partners suck, this can go for any relationship, really. When anyone kind of sucks that we care about, it starts with us and regulating what's going on up here, all the meaning I'm attaching to what they're doing or what they're not doing, taking a breath and slowing way down. Step number 1. Valerie, you said not married, no partner, but want that in my life, so I listen and learn. Awesome. And like I said, this isn't just for like married couples. This isn't just for someone in a romantic relationship. This goes for anyone in relationship, because guess what? Even friends and family suck sometimes too. So, okay, the first part is really like, it's about you. It's about slowing down. The second part is this. Your partner at one time was pretty awesome. I would venture to guess. That's probably why you said yes to either a proposal or an invitation, or do you say yes? And it's like, I do. So can you, in those moments, can you remember what is it about your partner that is amazing? Or if you can't go that far because you don't really like them a whole lot and they've been sucking for a long time, what about your partner do you respect? Can you think about and focus on the things that they're actually doing pretty well, or they're doing okay? We tend to not be able to see those things when we're frustrated. We tend to focus on all the things that they're doing wrong. And we tend to make it a point of telling them all the things that they could do differently. Why don't you just? Couldn't you have? So I want you to really take a moment and say, okay, what is it that my person, my partner, the person I said yes to, what is it that they're doing that it's adding value to our family? If at the very least it's adding value to my life. Because it's really hard to say what they're amazing at when they suck. It may even be slowing down long enough to say, when was the last time they showed up for me and they were really present and that was exactly what I needed? So just take a minute, you guys. Take a minute and think about that. I want you to just like get quiet for a moment and think about the last time your partner showed up, even if it was in the smallest way. Like, I just really needed help getting the laundry folded. I was exhausted. And they came in and they did it. They helped me. They didn't say a word. They weren't super happy about it, but they didn't say a word. And that was exactly what I needed in the moment. Once you're able to slow down enough and bring yourself back to this place of they don't suck 100% of the time, even if it's like, but Robyn, maybe 99%, go to the 1%. And it's in that moment that I want you to reach way down, maybe way down for some of you. In that place that you hold love and respect for that person. It's got to be there, even if it's an ounce. Find that place of kindness, maybe tenderness. Go to that place. I have these little quotes. I've shared these with you guys before. And I change them out every day when I walk into my office. These little things. And today's was like spot on. You know when you get those messages and you're like, this is exactly what I was going to talk about. This is what I needed to hear. This is what my community needs to hear. So I'm going to share with you what today's is. It says, be kind whenever possible. It is always possible. The Dalai Lama said that. I love that. These little guys. So coming from that place of tenderness and kindness, can you say, hi, Kate? Not can you say hi, Kate? I'm just saying hi. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for being here. I'm glad that this feels powerful. I hope you guys are taking things away from this. But in that moment, when you can slow down, you can go to that place of like, okay, they don't suck all the time. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to first share like what it's like for you, what you've been experiencing, your feelings. It's, I feel really lonely right now. I'm feeling kind of let down right now. I've been needing you and the availability hasn't been there. Right? And you're literally just talking from a place of self. This is how I've been feeling. And then you ask for what you need. You guys, this sounds simple because it is. Easy, not so much. Simple, yes, there's a difference. I want you to tell your partner what it is that you would like. Something I heard one time from one of my male therapist colleagues was, men are pretty darn aware of when they aren't doing a good job of something. That women are pretty good at letting them know exactly what they suck at. We're not so good at letting them know what we appreciate about them. So one way that you can kind of ask for what you need, if you don't want to focus on what you're not getting, you can focus on when you did get it and how much you loved it. So here's an example. I've just been feeling really lonely lately. We've both been working a whole lot, and I was thinking back to, about 6 months ago when we were doing like lunch dates once a week. I loved that. And I'm wondering if we can start that up again. What are your thoughts? So you're talking about how you're feeling. You're making a request, and then you're engaging your partner. You're asking them for a dialogue. You're saying, like, let's talk about this. What would it take to make this happen? It's not, you need to do this. It's an us thing. So loving your partner when they suck, when they're least lovable, it means you're setting your stuff aside long enough to say, come join me. You suck right now, but come join me. Or I've been sucking lately. Can I join you? Are you open to letting me back in? Right? It goes both ways because we do. We both just suck in marriage sometimes. It happens. So there we have it, you guys. It's pretty simple. Like I said, easy, not so much, but simple. Right? It's staying engaged and loving them when they suck because that's what we have to do in relationships in order to not crumble, in order to not completely drift apart. We talked about, why it can feel so impossible because loneliness within a relationship, feeling alone, is the heaviest thing to feel in a relationship. Because they're supposed to be there with you. They're supposed to be. And then the last piece is, how do we do that? How do we love them through the hard stuff? It's taking a moment, it's taking a breath, it's regulating our own shit that's coming up, because that's what it is, you guys, that's our stuff. Taking a breath, sharing what it is that you're actually feeling, what's going on with you in that moment, or what you're thinking. Maybe you don't even want to dive into feelings. Maybe your partner doesn't respond well when you get vulnerable. Great, talk about your ideas, start somewhere. And then, if you don't feel comfortable making a request, can you talk about an alternative? How would you feel about us trying lunch dates once a week? Since at the end of the night, we are wiped out and we have nothing more to give one another. What does your Wednesday, every Wednesday at 12 o'clock look like? Can we sit down and watch the midday love break together? There's a novel idea. So, you guys, I hope this was hopeful. And if you're on my email list, I told you guys that, I told you a little story about kind of what inspired me to come up with this and write about it and speak about it. And it's because I had a moment in my own relationship. I'll give you guys the quick synopsis, but I want to give you the wrap up and tell you what happened. I walked in my house, arms full of groceries, long day. kicked the dog bowl, water everywhere. I mean, I was just like, oh my gosh, having a really hard time. And I walk in and my husband is just sitting on the couch, super happy, watching his YouTube videos. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, seriously? Can you not see I'm struggling here? I need some help. But of course that was all happening up here. And all I could get out was like, oh my God, and he looks at me, he's like, hey babe, and gets back to his video. And I'm just like, hey, can you help me? Can I get a hand? And he's like, yeah, hold on. I just want to finish watching this video. This is hilarious. And you guys, I almost lost my shit. I almost lost my shit. Except I chose to do what I talked to you guys about. I paused for just a minute and I just took a breath and I just went, whew. I just walked into his world. He was already doing something. I had expectations like, breathe, Robyn, breathe. So I just had to walk myself through it for a minute. Okay. And so I set the groceries down and I just took a breath and I just put my hands on the counter. And almost immediately, as I started breathing and just chilling out and trying to slow down, he said, okay, come here. I'll help you in just 1 minute. Took the groceries out of my hands, come here for 1 second, please. And he pulls me over on the couch and he says, look, I saw your calendar, because we have shared calendars. It's really important for couples to do that, I think, if it works. And he said, I saw that you had a really busy day today. You had a ton of clients. I saw you had some consult calls, like, wow, like you had a really busy day. So I've been looking for the perfect video to watch with you to end your day, and it has puppies in it. And I know how much you love puppies, so I just wanted to have the perfect video, and you caught me. I was hoping to be done before you got home, but let's watch this together. You guys, oh my God, I'm getting emotional thinking about that moment, because had I chosen to just react from that place of, why are you letting me down again? Why can't you just be there for me when I need you right now? Woo! I slowed down enough to create space for him to say, I've been thinking about you all day, and I want to do this thing for you. And I had to reach down in that place of patience and kindness and tenderness and love for my husband and believe, and that belief that he wants me to feel loved and cared for and committed to, even when I think he sucks. And I had to receive that moment and that love. Had I just reacted, had I stayed in that moment of anger and disbelief and how can you be so oblivious to my needs, had I stayed in that, you think he would have said, oh my God, come here, I have this thing? He would have felt so rejected in that moment. He would have felt like what I hear from so many men, which is, I feel like I can't do anything right. But instead, I set my stuff aside. And I just cried, by the way, watching those puppies, because that moment, you guys, I made a choice. Thank God I made the right choice. But there's been so many times I've made the wrong choice. And I'm venturing to guess that you've been in a position to where you had a choice and you probably made the wrong choice. Maybe you were the one that sucked. So I just want to leave you with this, that, every day, you guys, you have the opportunity. You have the opportunity and the responsibility to choose to love your partner through the really hard shit. You have the responsibility and the opportunity and to just love them when they suck, because they're going to, and so are we. So I just want to leave you guys with that. And if I know I mentioned that was part of an email I sent out. If you are not on my email list and you want to be, head over to my website, you guys. I have a little freebie there for everyone who signs up. It's the Epic Love, oh my gosh, I'm blanking out because I just got really vulnerable with all of you guys. And I'm like, I hope that resonated with people, because that was me being really vulnerable with you. It's called the Epic Love Playbook. It's just in time. It's football season. It's free. But when you sign up for that, you get on my email list. And so you will be the first one to learn about the topics that we do every week on the Midday Love Break. You'll have an opportunity to reply to any of them and just give me your thoughts, your feedback. And I encourage everyone, if you have a question, if you have a topic that you want more information about, or you're just curious about, you want me to talk about on our next Midday Love Break, email me. I would be happy to. It is my passion to get as much information out to everyone. This is worldwide, to create your most epic relationship that lasts. So Valerie, you already did. I love it. So thank you to everyone who showed up today. I hope you found this helpful. Leave any comments below. I'd love to hear, how did you love your partner this week, even when they sucked? Or how did you show up? How did you choose to love them when you could have chosen to not, basically, right? For a lack of better words. Let me know how you guys are showing up. I'd love to hear from you. I hope this was helpful, and I cannot wait to see you guys next week for our Midday Love Break. We'll have an expert who's joining me. I won't spill the beans yet, but if you're on my email list, you will be the first one to find out the topic and who will be talking with me. I can't wait to see you guys, and mwah, big love. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.